going back to Israel, Israeli media today released a video showing Israeli soldiers raping a Palestinian detainee at Sate Department detention camp. The footage was very disturbing. I know you have commented on the reports about this detention center before, but we now have a new evidence, which is video. Have you seen that video, and do you have anything to say on that, and also the reports of rape
Yeah.
in Israeli prisons?
So we have seen the video, and reports of sexual abuse of detainees are horrific. They ought to be investigated fully by the government of Israel, by the IDF. Prisoners need to be treated, prisoners' human rights need to be respected in all cases, and when there are alleged violations, the government of Israel needs to take steps to investigate those who are alleged to have committed abuses and, if appropriate, hold them accountable. And it is appropriate that the IDF, in this case, has announced an investigation, has arrested a number of people who are alleged to have been involved, and I won't speak to the outcome of that investigation, but it ought to proceed swiftly. And if they're determined to be in violation of criminal laws or violations of the IDF's code of conduct, then of course they ought to be held accountable.
And actually, this is not the first rape incident we have been hearing about Israeli prisons. And Israeli human rights group B'Tselem on Monday released a report saying that Sedetemen is only tip of the iceberg, and that Israeli detention centers turned into a network of torture camps for Palestinians. It reports cited testimonies from 55 Palestinian detainees. So I know the Israelis are investigating this, but would you support an independent investigation into those allegations?
So I would have to look at what the specific independent investigation people are calling for and pass judgment on the merits. But look, there ought to be zero tolerance for sexual abuse, rape of any detainee, period. That's a fundamental it's a fundamental belief of the United States. And if there are detainees who have been abused, if they are detainees who have been sexually assaulted or raped, the government of Israel and the IDF need to fully investigate those actions and hold anyone responsible accountable to the full extent of the law.
Just a final one on that. What is your reaction to that? Israelis, including politicians and lawmakers, protested actually the arrest of Israeli soldiers who are suspected of abuse and rape. And, we have also seen comments from Israeli lawmakers trying to justify the, rape of Palestinians. Have you seen those remarks?
So obviously, with respect to the last question, there is no justification for rape of anyone. As I said, there must be zero tolerance for sexual assault of detainees. And with respect to comments that have been made by people in the Israeli government, or protests or attempts to interfere with the judicial system, the military judicial system in Israel, our principle, the principle that we believe ought to apply in Israel, is this principle that ought to apply anywhere in the world, and that is that the rule of law needs to hold. And so we have seen the statements by the IDF Chief of Staff that these investigations are important, that they are going to continue, and that is fully appropriate.